Hey guys, how's it going? Ed here, and we've got a new show. It's called InsideGmG. Basically, what it is just a solo podcast, me talking to you guys about different things. A bit more personal, I would say. Damn, I've got like the hiccups. 2 seconds. Okay, yeah. So like stuff like that, not as much editing. I just want to get this thing out once a week because with everything that's going on, it's been hard to do scheduling for my podcast, which I do with my friend JJ at the moment. That will be coming back. We will be doing that, but there's some stuff to iron out there and figure out. But with this, I can do this myself. I don't need a co-host. I don't need anyone. I just need a mic and some topics and actually, yeah, that's one thing. So the structure of this show, there won't be one really. The only thing that you can guarantee on is that I'll be talking about at least one topic in gaming and also covering what I've been playing and stuff like that. And maybe it would be coming every week. At the moment, I would say, yeah, I'm going to be doing that. But things can change, and with everything that's going on right now, that's probably going to happen. But I'm definitely going to be doing this because this is a lot easier to do than to like do an actual podcast with like multiple people and stuff like that. It's just me chatting away, and not really caring too much about editing certain things out because I don't really want to do that. I want it just to feel really chill. And obviously, if you guys got any questions, any topics that you would like me to cover, I'd be doing that as well. So think of it sort of as like a radio show, I guess you could call it that. But obviously, it's pre-recorded because ain't nobody got that time for live stuff. I mean, I don't at the moment have time to do things live and then worry about if the quality is good and stuff. I have respect for people to do that, but I don't. Also, anyone can come barging in here and ruin the sound and everything like that. So at least with that, I can kind of like circumvent those problems by not doing it live. Anyway, let's stop talking about live and not live and pre-produced stuff, and let's just get to it. So, first topic, right? Oh, well, actually, let me start with what I've been playing. I mean, if you've seen any of my videos, I put a couple out. One to do with like lockdown and stuff like that, and what different games you should play during lockdown. I really enjoyed doing that. And then my other one was a compilation of Apex Legends, and that is one of the games actually that I'm currently playing quite a bit. It's good because it's by the nature of its design, you don't have to spend too long playing it. You know what I mean? Like you can go in, you can play it in bursts. Is what I'm saying. Like games last from as little as a minute to can go on for like 10 minutes, I think, to 15 minutes. I don't know. I've never actually looked at the average playtime, but it depends. Like I said, it really does depend. But most of the time, especially the way Apex Legends plays out, games don't, the max a game could really go on for is about, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, I think. And that's perfect for me and what I'm up to at the moment and what I'm doing. So, if I've got 20 minutes free, I know, okay, let me just pop this on quickly, and then I might lose straight away, which then takes me back to it being not even 10 minutes, to it being 3 minutes or a minute, right? Yeah, and literally you could have played about 2 games within a minute with Apex, because it's so quick, it's so snappy, even when you don't have time to really think about when you lose, because you go straight back into the game. So I appreciate that. So I've been playing that as well. I've started finally, and this was something that I put off for like 3 years because I was hearing so much chatter about the length of the game and how long it takes to complete and people's completion times, and I was just like, I don't know if I could do that. And that's Persona 5. Finally started playing that, and I don't regret it. It is massive. I don't feel like I've scratched the surface with the game yet. But one thing I like, more so even than Persona 4 Golden, is that you get into the action a lot quicker in this, right? Than you did in the previous one, because Like it starts off with a battle quite quickly, and my memory there was a lot more exposition going on with Persona 4, like just getting the mood. But this just jumps into it fairly quickly, to be fair, and or maybe I just didn't realize, I just didn't notice the hours going. But the pacing seems a little bit better. I mean, there's a lot of story and relationship building in this game, like all Personas, but I just feel they've done better with the pacing. They respect your time a little bit more, and I always appreciate when games do that. So started that. I'll have some more updates as we go forward, and that's kind of the thing that I like about doing this inside GMG is I'll be able to, without focusing on a dedicated video, I'll be able to give you updates of things that I'm currently doing, whether that be within my games design of the game that I'm making, or games that I'm playing, or just, like I said, like topics that I feel in the game industry I got to get off my chest, you know. Like I've read something, whatever it may be, and I'm like, no, I've got to speak about this for a little bit. So, you know, that's what you could expect from that. But well, we'll get back it. We'll revisit Persona 5 anyway. First topic though that I really want to start with is, I mean, I know we're all sick of hearing it, but I want to ask you guys, and I'm going to give you my take. Obviously, do you think the next generation of consoles will be delayed, and do you think they should be delayed? More importantly, because it's something, obviously, with everything that's going on in the world right now. It's not a major topic in terms of gaming and speaking about it, but I think, you know, if you are a gamer and you're interested in this type of stuff, I think it's important that you realize what's important first, you know, your safety and all of that stuff. But also it's good to think about the state of the industry and how it's going to evolve, an industry that we love, you know what I mean? Like there's a lot of chatter of people being like, there's more important things, and of course there are more important things, and those things should always be addressed. But also it's interesting to see how anything that you care about, how that's going to be impacted, whether you love sports, for example, because I think about like something like football that's big over here in the UK, and how's that going to look, you know, if they're going to delay it it's delayed indefinitely, right? Yeah, when it does come back, how's that going to impact a lot of teams? How are players going to adapt to that? You know, there's this talk of pay cuts and all of that stuff. So there's a lot to it. So I think it's still important. You know, it's never good to focus necessarily just on the negative of a situation. And I believe that there could be something to gain from all of this, just generally. In life, like there's lessons to be learned from what we're going through, but I think with gaming specifically and the next gen, I think this could be a benefit, to be honest. So I'm in the camp of, to answer my own question, I think they should delay them at least until obviously next year. I mean, I don't ever see them, if they are delayed, coming out after the fiasco year of next year, so definitely they'll be coming out by March sometime. So, but I think they should, just because there's a lot of games that still need to cook. I feel, yeah, there's a lot of games that need to cook. You know, I was talking about this, I think in one of my videos I mentioned it with Control, and how Control's an amazing game, loved it, but it really did feel like it was a game that just shouldn't exist on current gen systems, right? Yeah, but they needed to make it exist, and that could be for time restraints, whatever, right? But I wouldn't surprise if they have like a build ready to go, Remedy, for the next gen systems and that game working, because for the amount of destruction that's in that game, right, it just does, whether it's a PlayStation 4 Pro or an Xbox One X, you know, this thing's being worked hard. That processor is being worked hard to work all that geometry and all that physics in terms of the destruction, destructible environment. So it wasn't supposed to, you know, it feels like it's a game that could be run on more powerful hardware and should be. And that's one of the reasons why I think it would be good to delay it, because I think a lot of games we would have more time you know, and uh, yeah, this is the year of cancellations and stuff, but really, do you want to bring it out at a time when people are uncertain about finances? You know, are they ready to put down 400, £500, however much these consoles are going to cost? Um, and then, of course, you've got the whole thing of like, our game's going to be ready with the impact that everyone has had with this global event. Yeah, so games that we thought were good to go have now been had disruptions to them because people have had to work at home and all of that. So I think it's a no-brainer. One thing I have to say, and it's really weird, I don't know why the console manufacturers are doing it. I guess they have to do this until they have like a proper foresight of the situation, but they're just basically saying, no, don't worry, it's definitely coming out. And it's kind of like that thing of, you know, I think there's a meme of like the whole house is on fire and the dog is just there chilling. It's kind of like that. It's like you saying that don't worry, it's coming out at the end of this year is would work on someone that's ignorant to how things work, but I think most people in the world are seeing, no matter how small the impact is, that there's an impact to this thing, right? And no matter what you say, you just go outside and you see the effects of it. So even if someone's like, everything's going to be fine, when you go to your supermarket, or when, you know, you're trying to apply for a new job and they're not getting back to you, or whatever it may be, or just whatever's going on in your life, yeah, it's very, very interesting to hear, you know, Sony, Microsoft double down on, no, this is definitely coming out. So I think they should do it. I understand why they're being kind of coy and saying no, maybe not. We can't really say one way or the other just yet. Maybe at E3 we'll get a more conclusive and definitive answer in terms of, no, we've decided to delay it, depending on how things get back to normal. But I just think it should be anyway, because we were never in a need to have a next gen just yet. I mean, we got some really good games towards the end of the year, right? It still looked good, and yes, I know I mentioned Control, and I mentioned also Jedi Fallen Order. Like, these games don't run at the best, and obviously could run better on more powerful hardware, but I still think they are current gen games. They're looked at like current gen games, whereas a game like, for example, Ghost of Tsushima and even Last of Us 2 to an extent, they could easily fall into the category of being launch games for PS5. And when I think about that, I'm like, yeah, man, why not just let it cook? Just put more effort into, you know, into any aspect that you want to get done. I mean, that's actually a good point to bring up. Last of Us 2 has actually been delayed indefinitely, right? Yeah, and we don't know when that could be coming out. I would like to think it still might make this year, just later, because I never believed for a fact it would come out around the same time as Ghost of Tsushima. Sony always have a weird thing with scheduling their games, and I think it was smart that they separated these. Like, you have to give your games time to breathe. There's no point of just flooding your audience with X amount of games, right? Yeah, regardless of their quality, it's like, just give them time, whether it's a week, 2 weeks, just give them time to breathe. Because by doing that, you're at least allowing that game to reach its full potential in terms of exposure, rather than flooding it. And I'm looking at you, EA, after what you did to Titanfall 2. You know, I know there was a lot of people that didn't put their money where their mouth was with that game and said, oh, we want a single player, and then the game came out and then they're like, yeah, but we're busy playing Battlefield 1, and it's just like, we can't buy both, and it's like, okay, cool, I might get behind that, but still, definitely, like, EA, just what are you doing with that? So we don't want a situation with that. So, which means that we will get better games in the future. Now, we're not getting next gen, so does that mean that Last of Us could be a launch thing? I think it should be. You know, I don't know about you guys, but I definitely think it should be. I think that would be amazing if it was, and it'd be good for Sony. Maybe Ghost of Tsushima is the one that they had to choose, and that's why we actually got a release date from that. Whereas, like, Last of Us, it was like, well, which one could we sell more as a launch title? You know, I think both could work, but obviously Last of Us is like a guaranteed, hey, you're walking into like a game or going on Amazon and you're like, I'm going to buy a PS5. And what game I'm going to get with that? Last of Us 2. I think definitely that makes sense. So we'll see. We'll see. But I think they both should delay. Obviously, if one delays, the other will. So it doesn't really matter. Just someone needs to. And they've been going this cat and mouse, you know, playing chicken with each other for ever since Microsoft dropped this thing in terms of like who's going to say what. And we've heard a lot about the Xbox One X, Series X, but not really that much. We've seen, but we don't really know the hard facts in terms of the features of what this thing could show me the thing running a game and the OS and stuff like that, and then I'm like, okay, right, I feel like this is like a machine. I mean, Sony, we've just seen even less of, which goes back more to my thing of like, I think this was a blessing in disguise for them, this whole situation that's happening in the world right now. I think Sony have looked at this and be like, we kind of don't need to now push anything because there's uncertainty on where everything's going to be that's outside of their control, and I think they're milking that for all it's worth. And do you know what, that's one thing that does excite me about companies, that they're not forcing things, because that's one thing we have to know, even as gamers, is sometimes it's good just to let things be, right? Yeah, and I hear everyone complaining about backlogs. You know, last year, the year before, you would hear that. You know, even I would complain. I'd be like, man, I've got so many games to catch up on. What am I going to do? And now we have that opportunity. We don't really need next-gen machines. I know everyone wants the next best shiny thing, but let's be honest, even when that next best shiny thing comes out, you're still going to have to wait 2 years until you get the real good stuff, right? Because it's going to take developers a long time to, really bring out the potential of these machines, which, by the way, are like ridiculously powerful. I mean, I don't know if you guys have seen the Mark Cerny talk, but the fact that these consoles are focusing a lot on the SSDs and how there's a lot of proprietary technology going into how the system utilizes that functionality is just, when I hear that, I get so excited. And I think that will be the biggest change. And I love that. That's good. You know, it's something that PCs don't even do, right? Yeah, I mean, they use SSDs, but they don't utilize the SSD. And I love that. That gets me really excited. So, yeah, I mean, that's all I've got to say really on that. I mean, I can go on and on, but to be honest, it's just more of, I think the reasons, to summarize, I think they shouldn't, because we've still got enough to play now, and developers, I think, still need time. I think the introduction of PS4 Pro and Xbox One X really did complicate things a little bit, because developers were in a space of like, well, do we divert resources to focusing on this? And now we have, like, instead of one version, we now have two versions of game. And in Xbox's case, they can't even have like three, because you've got the base Xbox, then you've got the S, which was kind of a little bit faster in some ways, and then you had the One X as well. So there was even that issue. So now it's good for them to sit back, have this time to reflect, and figure out where they want to go, and it can only mean better games for us. I would love to play Cyberpunk at the end of this year, along with Marvel Avengers. That's the one that I've resigned myself to the fact that, you know what, that's going to get delayed. I don't know about Cyberpunk. I'm still out with the jury on that. I don't know what they're going to do, just because they already kind of they committed themselves to this new date after delaying it with a date that I kind of always felt was going to get delayed, because before then it never got a date. People just assumed it was coming out at a certain time, and then they said it's April, and I was just like, is it really? Does it really matter if you guys delay it? No. So, and that's what happened. But to delay it again would be interesting, and you know, you don't want to, people are not going to lose interest, but you'll lose momentum, because remember, the longer, Actually, but then again, it's Cyberpunk. You know, I'm a madman. What am I saying? It doesn't matter. This thing could be delayed till 2077 and it wouldn't matter. But yeah, I think those are the things to look at. And I think a next gen is important. But I think right now we can just cool our heels. We've got amazing, but like I said, play something like Persona 5, guys. You know what I mean? Like, if you're struggling to find something and you're worried that, oh man, I need next gen to come around because I need a game to play, haha, no. You know, Persona 5, sorry, Royal Edition, I think it's called, is out now. Play that. You are good. You know, you're good. 200 plus hours in that game. I'm like, what, 20 hours in. And you've done my first palace. Felt good, by the way. But, you know, you got a long time to go. So, you know, I'm gonna leave that there anyway. I've enjoyed this. You know, we're at like the 20-minute mark. There's gonna be more of these. I'm gonna try and get these out every week, guys. But I'll interchange between videos that I've got planned. Ain't gonna be that many events that I'm gonna be going to anyway for the foreseeable future, but anything like that comes up that I feel like I need to put on YouTube, I will. And yeah, we'll go forward. Another thing that I just want to announce actually at the end, good thing that I left it till the end, I guess. I will be looking and doing some sort of Patreon, and this will be the main part of that. So going forward, you know, YouTube guys, I still want to give you guys, you know, some of this in a way, and I don't want to feel like I'm locking it away, which I kind of am, but you know, man, gotta eat. Yeah, I need that bread. So I think it's good that if I can give like a highlight of this or a little bit of InsideGmG, but most of that will be over at the Patreon. But you know, I'll do a big announcement. I'll do a video explaining how the tiers are gonna work on YouTube. But for now, don't need to worry. I mean, I'm doing it here, and it's, you know, it will still be on YouTube in some capacity. But it's just to give you guys a heads up of what I'm planning on doing with that, because like I said, this is just me rambling and just talking about things that I just want to just get off my chest and just there, and you know, not worry about editing it or anything like that, and just going with the flow. And I think it's more suited with something like Patreon because people committed to that and it's communicated that that's what you're going to get. Whereas on YouTube, it's, you know, more, hey, this is what I'm about, and that's just it. So, but with this, you don't know what you're going to get, because sometimes I can go into a ramble about other things. I mean, there's certainly so many other things I want to go into that, you know, don't even have anything really to do with gaming, right? Which is another reason why I think it's good that something like Patreon exists, so that I can put it to there, and the people that really care can help me and support me on there. But YouTube guys have been great anyway, so I still want to give you a taste of that. So that will be in the form of some sort of highlight or something, but for the foreseeable future, it will be on here in its entirety anyway. So yeah, guys, so that's the first episode out of the way. I'm really happy to be doing this. I'm gonna try and sort out what we're gonna do with the podcast, because it is good to have like different opinions, but I do just like to turn a mic on and, you know, just talk to you about just different things that I want to talk about. So I'll let you know about the situation on that. If you please hit me up on Twitter with any ideas, you know, if you like any suggestions of how I should go about this or whatever, and stuff, and I'll definitely take a look at it and we'll go. But be safe, remember to wash those hands, and keep gaming. Take care, guys.